This week on RSBANDB Update, the first batch of info on League's Catalyst arrives. Tasks, Relics, and Accelerated XP will be the name of the game. What can you expect? Is this enough for RuneScape's first league? Also, MTX Experiment 2 and its survey. This is RSBANDB Update, episode 1052, recorded Thursday, August 28th, 2025. Don't count your relics. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of RSBANDB Update. The Big Leagues Day is September 15th on the way. We talked about that last week, but we're getting more and more details, and it's going to be a constant drip, drip, drip until then. And to begin on this adventure, we have Tanis. Welcome back.
Thank you, Shane.
You were initially kind of lukewarm on it, but maybe warming up a bit.
Yeah. The hype train slowed down, and I ran behind it like in the movies, and I had like one hand on it now, and I'm getting ready to pull myself up like a hobo. Get on that hype train.
Yeah, and that's good, because I was hoping that there'd be somebody in here who wasn't fully committed yet, so you could be that. You can be that person. Also, Avernick, who normally does quests and lore with us, but you're one of the very, very early people to register interest in leagues.
Wait, this isn't a quest episode?
No, this isn't a quest episode.
Yeah.
You played one of the OS ones, right? So you have a bit of an idea of what's going on.
Yeah, a while back, the Trailblazer one.
Okay.
The first Trailblazer
Okay.
one.
That's a good one. That's a good one. And, of course, Pronuncius, everybody's second favorite Australian. You were initially lukewarm, too, I think?
I was initially lukewarm until I've sort of read up on it and seen what it's going to be doing, because I wanted to see how our one would compare. I didn't really want to just base on what OS was, and sort of seeing what's coming out and what they're doing. Yeah, I'm excited, and I'll be going full steam ahead.
And that's the same boat I'm in. I elected to do this. I have a number of things I need to figure out with this league in particular, but I'm sure that'll all come up on the podcast as we get closer and closer to the launch of it. But of course, in the meantime, big huge thank you goes out to our experienced tier Patreon members. Without them, doing update would not be possible this week. That's Amos Reed, Blade.com, Dominic R, Jade Gizmo, Jason S, Jesse W, Keski, Lemon Lodge, Luminos, Ricky A, Runestar, Psyoasis, Snail Mage, The Naked Captain, and Tim. Big huge thank you, everybody, and you'll be hearing more about our Patreon offerings a little bit later in the podcast. But of course, in the meantime, you want to follow along. Full show notes can be found over at update.show. Discord can be found over at update.show/discord, and the friends chat can be found in game at BitsBytes. Okie dokie. So we start off the week. We start off Tuesday, and I was so glad that they put this out on Tuesday, because they do have a bit of a track record of sometimes putting out the big news on Fridays when we're not here after the show has been recorded already. So let's just dive in here. And, I just have to point out to everybody who's going to be playing leagues who hasn't before, one of the big things I think that was neat to pump up the first couple sentences in, Mod Ryan in the video mentions that, hey, there's no paid progression in this game mode. Look at that, guys. Look at that.
Has to be said.
Has to be said. But this, I think, is the post and video that they absolutely needed to do, because it's like, what is a league for people who haven't done it before? So they needed to answer that, and I think this video did it quite well.
Yeah, I'm curious how much not overlap there is
In terms of the people coming from OS, you mean?
Or people that haven't jumped over there to try out their leagues at the very least.
Well, I think we'll get the overlap may come from people that played Fresh Start, right? And I'm sure there was overlap from OS then too.
I'm sure people wanted there to be more overlap at that time.
Yeah,
I get where you're
but
going.
I bet a lot of a lot of people that played Fresh Start are going to want to play this, because it's kind of that on steroids, or what we wanted before it was kiboshed. but
Steroids is too tame. It's it on crack.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, I think they got the key points of this. It's tasks, it's relics, and crazy, insane XP boosts and probably combat boosts along the way as you progress through it. And that's the bread and butter of it. One of the things they addressed immediately right off the bat is that there was going to be no region locking in this, which I think is a big question mark for a lot of people who have played the OS leagues. But when it comes down to it, for everybody who is just playing leagues for the first time, you don't know what region locking does for you, so it doesn't really matter, I don't think. At least that's the way I'm looking at it.
I think also with the amount of content we have, like especially as we said, Excavator, which is basically your archaeology one, you don't want to be region locked because there are going to be things you need from different regions for archaeology relics. So, well,
and see, that's the thing. If there was region locking on that, they'd have to design around archaeology to make something like that.
I don't know. If I feel like that's the fun in it is that you don't have Infernal
it's tying
Source
something
and
behind your back.
It's you have to figure out how to get around that. You have this now 40 level gap in the middle.
That has its own kind of place, and maybe that becomes an identity of OS leagues where RS3 might be that ultimate power fantasy of like, this is what I've always wanted, and I'm just.
I mean, like one of my goals out there, just beginning before we get too far down the road here with the the league's power boosts and whatnot, because there's going to be combat ones. It's to solo Virago, something which I haven't done in the main game before. And I think that's one good way of looking at leagues is, hey, is there any content in game that you haven't done before or that you find difficult that you'd like to do in a supercharged way? Well, leagues is your time to do that. So,
yeah. I feel like this will work for the first one. It just being the whole game as we know it, faster and more powerful, and you can do things you couldn't do before.
That's it. And region locking
it's got to be changed for the second one, though, right? Otherwise, it's just everything you've seen before, the same, faster. But it works the first one. As
an introduction, you want everything. I mean, and I agree that, then having to work things out will be a great thing, but I don't want that first time. When I'm learning in the first experience on this one, then I can go through and say, oh, geez, that worked well. And so the next one, these are the ones I really want. I can do without those, so I'm going to go this way.
One thing I'm keeping my eye on, and we'll get back to the whole region locking thing in a minute, but you mentioned, things that, make you do things a little bit differently. One thing I want to keep my eye on is that we very much know that in game right now, combat at the high end is pretty much a magic or necromancy affair. And what I'm wondering is there going to be anything that can really tip that on its head so that there's a different combat meta in the league than there is in the main game? Because that's something we witnessed in the previous old school leagues, is that their combat relics or combat passives, when they were done that way, would let people in effect have a different combat experience than they would have in the main game. And just as a quick example of this last league on old school, if you went down the ranged path, you would have automatically 100% accuracy. Now we don't necessarily need something like that here, but those are the kind of mutators for combat that let you do it entirely different than you would in the main game. So I'll be looking to see in the reveals that come if there's anything in related that can shift combat like that.
That is interesting how crazy they could go. The first thing that comes to mind, and maybe old school did this, is did they ever give melee range? Like you don't have to stay
halberds.
like 5 squared, like necro range or something.
Oh, that could be devastating. You can
stand 6 squares away and still swing your sword and hit them.
Another thing I was thinking of was doubling the max hit from 30k to 60k.
Why not?
So going back to this being like the first league, one thing that I would love to see is subsequent leagues, I feel should be different. And then maybe even someday you start to see these seasonal leagues, right? Like you're gonna have a league like this that is really focused on just that power, just that, over the top, total freedom. But then there might be one that's, it's different.
And that's what they did on OS, because they've had leagues before where skills were locked out, where you had to pick certain skills that you would be able to work with, and the others would be locked.
Yeah, and that kind of keeps that fresh, and I feel like you almost have to want to play the leagues because of you just want to experience the gameplay, because, and we'll get to the rewards. I'm not impressed.
Okay, we'll get there. We'll get there. And that's the thing, that it's, it doesn't necessarily need to be about in that way. And, I think the RS3 gameplay does have the potential to shine with this. The one question that's really, in terms of, we were discussing it in the Discord this afternoon, is what happens with quests? Because one of the things you get with region locking on old schools leagues is that if you choose Prif and Tyrannon, for example, on an old school league, you automatically get all the elf quests done. If you choose the desert, you get Desert Treasure 2 and a selection of the desert quests done. What does that mean here? Is there going to be any kind of short-circuited quest progression? Or are we going to see an example where somebody's going to feel compelled for some reason to, run through all the quests? Which I think, which I don't
think, could be on the task system, couldn't it?
Do that.
They could be, but I don't. I mean, it's just me, but I don't feel like that's a league's thing to do, to spend your time questing.
Oh no, it would suck. But could it be an RS3 leagues thing? Oh, I could see it.
What do you think?
I mean, this might be the most technical, boring answer, but I think that one of the reasons why we're not getting any region locking and why it's tasks and relics and
engine.
What they need to is just time. This is what they had time to put together. Putting together everything they would need to do autocomplete quests to get people past certain states sounds like a shit ton of work. So I don't think that they'll be auto-completed. I do agree that like your returns for doing a quest is way worse than doing skilling or killing. So you should pick which ones you do strategically. And the good thing
is that if you want Prif, it's not too much of a quest push to do.
No,
compared
it's not like
to
a mascot.
Yeah, I was going to say, compared to if you want to fight a mascot, or even, go and use the Gate of Validness, which is, 86 archaeology amongst a bunch of other quests.
I have seen a lot of people say both they want to unlock Gate and they want to unlock Soul Rune Crafting for their own merits. So at that point, I guess a mascot isn't that far off. Because then you have Fight Club and Ode done.
Yeah, and I mean, not to get too much into the theory crafting on this episode, because there'll be a whole other episode for that. With XP multipliers potentially, going up to X16, based on what the old school ones look like. We'll have to see how they go
16?
here.
16?
Yeah, times 16.
What?
Yep.
What?
Yeah.
16 times XP.
That's what the last one was in the last two leagues on OS.
Slisky's endgame for 20 million XP.
Yeah, or or the Amaska quest for 16 million XP.
Yep.
See, now I'm even more hurt about the rewards. Darn it. Okay.
Hurt? Oh, we have to get into that.
And then remember, this quest, this account goes goodbye when you're done.
Yes.
Yeah. Ouch.
Yeah, you shouldn't be just spending time unless you're really going for those high scores.
And that's what I wanted to get into, is that it all comes down to the tasks. It shouldn't be, I'm going to go for base 10s, base 20s, base 30s, and so on, as you would do on a regular account. It should come down to, what am I going to do to get to the next relic unlock as quick as I can.
Next relic unlock. What are the master tasks you want to target?
Right, that sort of thing, too, to chase that sort of thing down. That's the way that this should be played, because there's the example they give. Easy tasks give 10 points, but master tasks give 400 points each. So when you look into these, something like milking a cow might be 10 points, but fully exploring Everlight is a master task. Defeating Telos at 1,000% in rage is a master task, which, I
ain't gonna be having too many of them.
Well, no, that'll be easy on leagues, mind you. I think
The skilling ones seem very achievable. Like Everlight is not the craziest. Ask is just get the level 105.
And I mean, Hermod is a hard task.
Or 1500. Hermod is that was a interesting jump between medium and hard. Or hard and elite.
The one they show as elite for combat is equipping an Exakill, the Zuck Sword, and remember, we're also anticipating that there's going to be boosted drops, so that
still
combined
hard
with...
mode Zuck, though.
Nah, I think that it's going to be entirely doable with the buffs you get.
Especially, I like your idea of the extra range.
Oh,
can you imagine? You know, you're like the bad guy on Iron Man 2. You just got two whips that shoot out electricity, and you're sitting there just whipping everything with these electric things that go 5 squares around you.
Better yet.
So, breeding a shiny dinosaur is a master task. Taking down each big game hunter is an elite task, and entering Zenaris via the Lumberj Swamp is hard.
Yeah, it's a weird mix. I feel like the medium hard elites, like
that's going to require
the difficulties are all over the place. I don't think they're very internally consistent.
So these are just examples of what can be expected for the tasks. So I just wanted to highlight that defeating Telos or equipping the Exakill. Remember, there's going to be combat passives and unlocks that are going to come. Either through a mastery system or relics at various points, so it's not going to be unobtainable.
I'll look at the combat ones, but my main ones will be I'll be chasing all the skilling ones. Obviously, most of the miscellaneous ones, like taking down each dinosaur, that's going to require at least I think it's 97 or 98 hunter,
full hunter.
Yeah. So it is going to, I mean, like even the breeding the shiny dinosaur, I mean, what's that, 105 farming?
It's easy. You have to get 2 of the same unchecked egg. Step 1.
I mean, that's not too bad with either BGH or...
I guess you need to do Extinction to get accidental
I mean, if you wanted to do Extinction with the the run through on that, but again, it's like how much time do you want to spend questing in this, especially when you consider how much is in that one.
But it sounds like the tasks are going to require. I mean, look at that. Go to Zenaris through Lumberj Swamp.
You'll have to do
a quest to even do that,
right? And those are maybe some of the places where I think that the tasks might change how people would normally do an Iron Man, right? Like, my worst fear is that everyone does River or Blood to get Sun Spear and uses that to train Prayer and yada, yada, yada. If we can get out of that rut.
Oh, yeah. Like I was saying, I think one of the biggest things to hope for is that it completely shakes up what is the so-called meta for whatever it might be.
Right.
Whether that be combat or, leveling up an iron.
Progression, yeah.
So, let's talk a bit about the relics, because we've been dancing around those. The 3 that were revealed up to this point. We might have more by the time you're hearing this, but tier 1 is the first choice is Animal Wrangler, which is a fishing and hunter harpoon that makes it so that bait's no longer required. A 50% increased catch rate is given on all fish, and every catch will be sent straight to the bank, keeping your inventory clear, and you can even have auto cooking for fresh meals as you go. So basically, this is the AFK fish and level up hunter at the same time, or fishing and cooking rather. And then for hunters, this one makes it so your traps never fail, instantly sends all catches straight to the bank, and you also get double hunter loot as well with that one.
It's fine. I think you were saying pre-show that this was the old school meta one.
Last league, the one that gave the harpoon and the fishing and whatnot was
why?
Was
like, what are they getting at? Is it because of the food that they need the food faster?
Because if you wanted to do something involving herblore, the next choice on that was to choose the gatherer one. That made it so that whenever you fished, you would automatically get herbs.
Oh,
So you would have your inventory open for fish, and then you could have your herb bag going and just be collecting massive amounts of herbs as you just AFK Curve 1.
interesting.
Yeah.
Well, no, those sound like they're going to.
So not because of any of the effects of the thing, but because herbs.
Yeah, like it's going to be refined.
and also Hunter is just a bit more annoying on old school.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Right. Sorry.
Can you
guys.
imagine? If you want to get up to making extremes and overloads. I mean, the amount of there's only a few months. You're not going to need 10,000 potions. So.
right,
Yeah.
but see, that's the thing I'm going to be keeping my eye open to, and I'll say it at this point, and I said it a bit last week, is that you look for what is going to solve or trivialize each skill, and you chart the path with that feels the best for you. So
At that point, I would almost say, what drops the extremes?
right, so my theory crafting, once we have all the relics, is going to be put together a list and say, what is going to be done for each of these skills, and then chart that path forward to do that after getting as many early points on as I can to get the early relics. So that's what I'm looking for in terms of theory crafting.
When I first heard Leagues, I thought it was going to be, join up with a couple of mates, similar to Group Iron Man, but in a more competitive, even more competitive way. I didn't realize it was on your own, and there was no trading at all. So
No economy.
yeah.
I was gonna
ahead.
ask, in terms of tasks, because it seems like from what I've heard, like we probably won't know tasks until we're playing it.
Day of, yep.
Could they be so insanely hunter and cooking and fishing leaning that this becomes a better pick? Or is it how we're thinking about getting resources the right way to think about it?
No, I think it's going to be task centric. I was thinking
because you said
just
the
like
BGH
you.
ones. I'm like, oh yeah, 97 hunters a lot.
Like it comes down.
I was thinking just like you, man.
Like, here's the deal. It comes down to what skills don't you want to train the most, right? Like, imagine just getting to level 53 Hunter. You could just, sit at the red Chinchampas or whatever skill Chinchampa, and bam, you would automatically collect all those.
In that case,
because we know how
Hunter the most.
fast,
Maybe
we
I
know
want
how
this one.
fast, we know how fast Crystal Skill Champa Hunter is. So if you can automate that and have everything automatically never fail and automatically go to your bank, and you don't like doing Hunter, then that's one tick why you might choose Animal Wrangler. On the other hand, if you're looking to make it so that you don't necessarily need to worry about gathering your divine charges for invention later on down the road, you might choose Divine Woodcutter, because this one gives you a hatchet that chops logs but also burns them if you want to set that setting. And with this, any bird's nests you find are also sent to your bank. The hatchet also does for divination, so that memories are automatically deposited straight into the rift, chronicles are captured instantly, and springs last longer, and you'll also receive double divine energy from both springs and memory conversions. Now, people will say, what about the divine conversion archaeology relic? Well, you get this as soon as you log into the league if you want. You don't need to wait until level 90 whatever archaeology.
Tier 1 is unlocked from 0 league points?
As soon as you log into the league, you can choose tier 1.
Okay.
You don't need divine the memory dowser.
Yeah.
I think that for this one, the woodcutting benefits aren't that appealing. I feel like you can get those in other ways. The divination ones do sound decently appealing, but if there's any relic or passive ability that gives you better invention, anything, I think it just starts to become worse and worse.
Yeah.
Like if our charge drain rate is reduced, or if they give us free reign of picks of perks or whatever, like I feel like this just gets worse and worse the more that invention gets buffed.
Now, one thing we did have on the last old school league was there was a knife that automatically performed any fletching actions immediately in one tick. So this could also this relic could also synergize if you just didn't want to do fletching. If we do get a fletching tool like that. I'm not saying we're going to, but just kind of reading into the what ifs.
Yeah.
Then the final tier 1 that they teased was Excavator, which is mining and archaeology. And what this one does is will make it so that ores are automatically smelted into bars. Gems are instantly cut, so this is your crafting training method. So in theory, if somebody wanted to rush to Gate of Validness, or Invention rather, I was thinking the crafting component, you could automatically just sit and AFK at gem mines and do crafting that way. You also gain more chronotes, use half the materials when restoring, and enjoy stationary time sprites for easier efficiency.
This is absolutely the favorite, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, but what Shane was saying earlier is like you should pick the relic that helps the skills you're not going to want to train. I was going to do archaeology anyway, so
I was leaning towards Divine Woodcutter.
Oh, really? Oh, we got an outlier.
Mainly just to, make it so that, we're not having divination problems later on. But what's the thoughts between on Excavator then?
Well, for myself, when I read them, I'm going, because I was the same as you. I was looking at the Divine Woodcutter. I like the Animal Wrangler, but I'm not a big hunter person. Divine Woodcutter, I thought, yeah, that looks really good, but I love archaeology so much and just playing through all that. But you sort of got me thinking now, yeah, I do love that skill. So is that the one I need to rush? Or do I do the hunter one or something where it's one I want to just get out of the way so I can get things done and enjoy the archaeology grind? But archaeology, just with all their relics that they have, just offers so much.
It's really good early
to
game.
Unlock it is, yeah. That's why I've pushed archaeology on my GIM, because it's like all the relics that you get are just so handy.
Yeah, we need to hear more. I think that the thing that it depends on is hearing about what's happening with quests and, unlocking things like Gate or a Masket or Prif.
I think that the biggest boon to Excavator is the half materials to restore.
Yeah.
Because I think the constant issue with archaeology is if you have boosted XP, you're going to get really high levels and fall behind on all of the artifacts you need to do mysteries. So just reducing the time that it takes to get those requisite artifacts, because your level is going to be so insane compared to like you're going to be at beginning of Carrot just trying to break in, you're already level 20. Being told to go to the Infernal Source. So I think that will reduce the time where you're doing the non-training things.
Yeah, that's actually a very interesting point about the archaeology being so far ahead. But
I just want to jump in. The banking for me is what makes it the only choice, really. Because you got the banking for the crafting, but you got it for the mining. You got for the you know what I mean. So
for the mining side,
that's the thing that really sold me.
Well, yeah, all your stuff is already made into bars when you mine them and things like that. But then, what do we need high-level smithing for, really?
Well, here's the kicker, and this is why it's kind of foolish to make a choice on this right now, is because, again, as an example from the last Old School League, there was a relic called Golden God that made it so that you could basically just be walking around an alking at any time. So it made it so that prayer was trivialized. And how did you do that? Well, you bought from stores, or you could just alk rune bars, or in our case, Elder rune bars. That's why you could have such a need for bars and stuff. But don't be. And this is the thing I say: don't be making these decisions right now until we know what the rest of the relic landscape looks like.
Right, and the tasks, like, what if there's a task that says make a masterwork sword? Like, then, I need mining.
Then the smithing one really helps.
Right, so it could go any way because of the task, whatever those master tasks are that you want to go for.
But I think the idea with this. The way they were talking about it, it narrows. I think you're going to be narrowing.
It solves skills. It makes it so that certain skills are easier.
Quick question: Do you have to choose the relic on login, or can I
No, you can let it sit.
Good, so I can go and start excavating while I
on.
research.
No. You can let it sit, but typically XP boost and relic are intertwined because when you choose the relic, it unlocks that tier. So you won't get the XP boost until you choose that first relic.
But that's okay. So I can do like an hour or two of training while I'm researching. So I
well,
just get a little bit going. And then,
I mean, depending on the task, it's entirely plausible you could be running around Lumbridge and Drainer for 35, 45 minutes before even doing any training. Like there was one task in the old school league, and I'm going to be looking to see if they bring this one over. Everybody always uses the south staircase in Lumbridge Castle. The simplest task you could do was go and use the north staircase in the Lumbridge Castle.
That's the one I always use.
Weirdo.
I guess I didn't know.
Well, yeah. I mean, if you unlock the spell, the relic where you don't need runes for spells, you do, because when you click Lumbridge, you don't use the Lumbridge lodestone. You just click the Lumbridge one, and it brings you at that north entrance. So you do use the north one.
If you once you get the relic at level
108.
Whatever archaeology, 100 something.
Yeah, it's 108. I rushed for that one for my claims.
and see, this is the thing I'll say is that it just theory craft it out. Don't make this choice right now, because I still think there's a world where Divine Woodcutter and Animal Wrangler are the ones to go with, based on my previous league's experiences.
Just because I'm not a big, I don't like Hunter that much because it is such a lean forward skill.
Mm-hmm.
And looking at one of those tasks that are on there where, you have to take down a dinosaur in Big Game Hunter, that may be the way I'm now leaning. So, but I want to see what the full task set is, as you said. I mean, I'm just thinking favorite skill, archaeology, I'll rush that one, but now, when you sort of sit back and think...
But let's put yourself in terms of our group Iron Man. We really haven't got into the use of the relics until just very recently.
Yeah. And it's been great because having me as a high one, I can get those unlocked to you guys,
It's been pretty amazing. I never had any relics, pretty much. I'm
enjoying that summoning one, aren't you?
Oh my god, dude.
Are you able to, this is a group Iron Man question, are you able to get the turn-in they need for...
Most of them, yeah.
And then they can turn it in instead?
Yeah.
As long as there's no, little quest or anything that they need. But, as long as it's the ones where it's just hand in the relics, I've got the relics.
As soon as Pern had 81 archaeology, I had my pharmacology, even though I was only in the 50s or 60s for archaeology.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I got this summoning one for Tanis, and he was like 45, 50 archaeology.
Another big one that you did was the Bone Noter one.
Mm-hmm.
The Bone Noter, yeah.
That one. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The summoning one's hilarious because everyone said no one would use that when it was coming out.
But
at a lower level, of course you would, yeah.
My AFKing, I mean, I can load that up, get that, and you're getting 50% extra XP, so I don't have to sit there lean forward. And it's great because I just do it, fold the washing, click a run, fold some washing, click a run. It's great.
Well, it makes it AFK to where it just makes it more practical to bank. You get the 50% as the reward for that, and then you don't have to do.
So, and that's the reason you choose the archaeology relic in leagues. But again, there was theory crafting happening, early theory crafting on the Discord this afternoon, saying that, maybe rushing Gate of Litness is the play. Because, of course, with that, you also get the crafting XP in there, you get the divination XP, the mining XP, and you are going to have the chance of getting the Scripture of Litness book, which will have its XP boosted alongside everything else, and that's a hefty, hefty amount of XP. So, it's however you want to get to where you want to go the fastest, they say. And, you know,
yeah, it'll be a skill to theory craft, but also leave yourself loose enough to, if you see that there's a lot of tasks that go a certain way you weren't expecting.
Yeah, and I'm already itching to find out the meta, because you know what I want to do?
Not deviate too much.
I want to thank some Patreon supporters right now. This week, that is Alvaro L, Amos Reed, Arvids L, Bladecom, Chilbura, Dominic R, Duramax, Guy Lafleur, Imperialis, Jade Gizmo, Jason S, Jesse W, Julia W, Keski, Lemon Lodge, Luminos, Michelle M, Mike Wings, Mongraph, Pernasius, Ricky A, Robbie D, Runestar, RMan NZ, Samuel FL, Scott DS, Shirt Pants, Sioaces, Smavin, Snail Mage, Tabby, The Naked Captain, The Dabbing Goat, Tim, Ukulele Steve, Woody, Zant, and Zazakon. Big, huge thank you to everybody. Head on over to patreon.com/RSBNB. It would greatly mean the world to us if you want to help the podcast grow, but patreon.com/RSBNB is the place to be. There we do have a number of tiers of support available presently. 3 right now open. Starting for as little as $1 a month, you'll get a mention in the show notes each and every week, access to the back catalog of monthly bits, and the ability to vote on the monthly bits. And right now, the thing that everybody is voting on is 2 lore and quest-focused monthly bits for the month of September. I snuck that one in there for you, Aberneck. I put both these on the docket for you.
Thank you.
It would have been a 6th age quest tier list or 3rd age storylines. We kind of redid the 3rd age storylines one since last time. It's looking like that one's going to win, but this is looking at just how much the 3rd age of RuneScape influenced a lot of the lore that we have in the game. So if you want to hear that when that one comes out, presuming the poll doesn't change too much, patreon.com/RSBNB, and you can get it for as little as $1 a month. We also do have the VIP tier for $3 a month, where you get a special rank on Discord, chat channel access, and high-quality stereo versions of the show each and every week. And, of course, we also do have the Insider tier, where for $5 a month, you get a shout-out on the podcast each and every week, and you also get access to the outtakes that we use to make the clips, the clip show at the end of the year, plus the RSBNB update Christmas card. So patreon.com/RSBNB. Check it out. Thanks so much, everybody. Really looking forward to seeing what kind of discussion we wind up happening on this next monthly bit. Thanks so much.
Thanks, guys.
All right. So with that group Iron Man diversion aside, I think we get to the rewards here for the league. And
That's what we're here for.
And again, in typical league's fashion, you get a trophy, starting from bronze, going all the way up to dragon. The Dragon Cup.
Where do you store these? How do you show these off?
You can wield them. On Old School, they go in the house. I don't know if you're going to be able to do something similar here.
What's a house?
We do have the trophy room, but yeah, no one.
Yeah, what's
no one
a
goes
house?
to your house.
Yeah, and I mean, I guess at one point it becomes a cosmetic override, perhaps? I don't know.
Probably.
Have it like an overhead emote where you just run around, you got your trophy over your head.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, but it needs to... I really think it needs to be... Or, I wish it was something like that, but the way it looked like it was just some kind... I mean, at best, you might be able to keepsake it, and override something, but... I wish it was a cape, or a halo, or a crown, or something.
I mean, they do those overhead things. You have the tombstone crafting and all that.
I don't
Why
think...
not just run around with having that over your head?
That would have been a good one, like little skilling icons in a Stone of Jazz.
Like I did this in leagues and I got Dragon. It had a different one.
Yeah. I think they have a lot of good things here, but I think overheads are missing, and I keep seeing people use the overhead emotes more and more, so I'd like to see them.
The other thing is the outfit. It comes in 3 tiers, depending on how well you do.
That's fine.
That one will definitely be a cosmetic. Yeah, I agree. A new hatchet and harpoon override, of course, that's to be expected as well. I like the way the pickaxe looks on this one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's all the things I think we get from the Tier 1 relics.
Yeah.
See, I wish the outfit... There's so many outfits in RuneScape that I wish it was a League's cape. I really do. I wish it was a gold dragon. I wish it was a League's cape. Like, because I'm never going to wear that outfit. There's too many outfits in RuneScape. You know what I mean? There's just so many. That
everyone's got their own outfit picked already, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I will, and I don't even know if I would pick it out, right? If someone's wearing it, I don't know if I'd be like, oh, what's Leagues?
I mean, this is just the tip of the iceberg because there's also the Catalyst staff and its override, as well as a new cosmetic aura, a League's pet, combat ability overrides, and teleport animations.
Yeah, I mean, it's everything but the things I want. Like, I mean, there's a lot of stuff.
So you're basically just saying a cape rather than like an outfit or a cape to showcase the trophy tier or something
that
like
is
that.
Distinctively...
Yeah, a cape is very distinctive.
You know, like, this stuff, it's wonderful, it's great, but it's just another animation. To me, it doesn't scream Leagues. It doesn't... It just doesn't say Leagues. It's not a... Yeah. Give me a big L, call it the loser cape or the Leagues, I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? But, yeah.
Yeah, and you know, that's the other thing I'll say, and I felt this too, because the first League I took part in on Old School, my account was still very much mid-level, so I felt like I was, wasting my time, right? Because you don't get the account at the end of it, and you just get the cosmetic rewards that you end up purchasing. So I did feel that a bit that way, but I think it's different if your account is maxed or you can take a break from the GIM like I'm going to be doing for this. So
yeah, I'll be taking a long break on the GIM for the same reason.
Yeah, I just want to take something like I have on the main from Fresh Start, that when you put it on, it is distinctively, oh, that's from Fresh Start. Like, that's what I wish we had here, because I don't
Is the outfit not good enough?
No.
Because it comes in 3 tiers.
But I'm not going to recognize that. I don't think anyone else is either. Because there's a million outfits. Like, it's just not a cape. It's not.
Cape
it's
is
not
distinctive.
Yeah.
Outfits don't really do it for me either.
I don't know about you guys, but I think the reward options that are exciting me the most are the ones that they haven't shown yet.
Yeah, the combat ability overrides and the teleport animations.
Teleport anim, yeah.
The pet will be good, yeah.
So those are the ones I'm
What about the cosmetic aura? What if the cosmetic aura scales with the tier that you got to? Like that's a way of showing it.
Cosmetic aura. I don't even understand what that means.
It's like the Tumikin aura that just came out for the Amasket race.
Yeah, you have like a ray of light coming out of your head if you got the Amasket race done.
Is that why I'm seeing that thing all the time?
Yeah, those are the people that did a 2K kill in the first week.
Ah, I've been seeing this new thing. What the hell is that? See, I didn't even realize.
Very rarely. they've only used them so far for like Grandmaster and Master Combat achievements. And
see, all these people have done this thing, and I knew nothing about it.
Well, there will be a Leagues one now, so hopefully.
I mean, it's cool.
Also,
it's a not saturated cosmetic space. A lot of them are saturated.
Also, I do have to say, I think that there's probably going to be 1 or 2 big things that are unique and bespoke to this league compared to, what people are thinking old school wise. Because it is League's catalyst, after all. And what is the catalyst? It is the Stone of Jazz.
Yes. And
what did the Stone of Jazz do? It powered everybody up. It was the big touchstone of that Majorat quest line in Slisuke's game. Very defining features. And maybe there's a way of leading into some of that with the name.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but don't count your chickens before they hatch is the best word I can give, because we got reveals and teasers coming all the way starting on the 29th here to September 11th. So we'll be watching those. If anybody has any ideas about how we can bring you like quick podcasty reaction coverage in between on that, let us know, because that's something I'm going to be thinking of throughout the weekend. Like, what can we do with that, right? So that's League's Catalyst. We're going to have a lot to talk about each and every week, and expect the episode right before Leagues drops. So the one that'll take place on, what is that, September 12th, I guess? Expect that to be our theory crafting episode, where we'll lay down everything we know and get some people on who are taking part and lay out some of the things that we're going to be talking about for that. So those ones are always fun. But anything else on Catalyst before we move on?
Excited. It's only a couple weeks.
Yeah, I was expecting it to be later, but it's coming very quick.
Yeah, I mean, as I said last week, it's a wrong month for me. But yeah, I'm still.
I wonder if there's reasons for when it's coming out, whether they're trying to stay out of Sailing's way.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what we discussed last week. But yeah, it's just it's the one month of the year that I've got birthdays and family events and everything happening. Yeah. So yeah, but
I'm getting married 5 days after it comes out.
Whoa. Well,
Whoa.
You didn't tell us that was happening.
Well, I am now.
So
yeah,
are we
real.
So are we delaying, or do you need one of us to come over there? And,
I'll be doing league. I'll be training leagues while cutting out name cards for tables.
And that's why you said you couldn't be on the show on launch week.
I hope you're not going to be on a cruise for your honeymoon or something.
No. Yeah, starting that week, I have like families staying with me, so like it'll go downhill fast. But I'll get back on it the week after.
All right. Well, the other thing that wrapped up this past weekend was the double XP without microtransaction items, which I think had a bit of a mixed response from people.
Had a lot of complaints I saw in chats. It was so funny. All these people who complain about MTXT were the same people who were complaining that they couldn't use it during their double XP. I was kissing myself laughing. Yeah.
What have I always told you?
As hyper engaged player, always surprises me how many people don't read the news. Because there were a lot of comments in Discord and Reddit like, I didn't know.
Yeah, I mean, I had a lot of fun laughing at people.
All right, so I did pull some questions from the survey. Generally, they want to know, what are your thoughts on this event? Did you enjoy it more or less than previous ones? Mm-hmm. How fair did it feel? And again, Jagex, don't use the word fair. I don't like that word.
It's not fair.
I feel like it's
that just encourages the. That just encourages them.
The whinging.
I think they've acknowledged a lot in the Reddit posts that, like, no matter what happens here, there's going to be some group that's unhappy, or several groups that are unhappy with the solution they get to.
But it's masked off.
I paid for my keys to you get all that stuff, and you took it off me.
Because I kept bitching about MTX every chance.
Here's a real question. Did this double XP event feel more or less grindy than previous ones?
Haven't done them in a long time.
And see, that's the thing I think it's important to talk about. Because, again, Group Iron Man, so it's kind of hard to know where that landed.
Yeah.
So
I feel like XP hasn't meant anything for a decade, so
yeah.
I think that's more the root of the issue.
Right, and based on my quick sampling there, I'd have to say probably about the same in that regard. And I think, like I always said, the bigger thing with this is just enabling actually interacting with the skilling in this one. And they're wondering how likely would you be to participate in future DXPs with the same restrictions. I want to know what the answer is going to be to this question from people.
If I had a level cap increase to go along with it, I would be there. But
yeah, exactly. Like, I'm waiting to train the next one until we have 110 thieving on my main.
Yes.
Because I walked into 110 crafting just from, friggin' dailies and whatnot, which was boring when we got there.
I have enjoyed the 110s that I've had to do.
You have?
That I had. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Do they feel rewarding to you?
I feel like I'm actually playing the content. Like the ones I've had, like I had woodcutting. I don't feel like I've really done much of the...
No, because I had one... Right, and I understand that, because I was, 120 before that arrived.
But the crafting, I feel like I've done a good amount of now.
Yeah, crafting was so good with the masterwork and stuff, too, I think.
See, and I was 200 all, or I was at least 120 all when all these things have been...
You need a new account, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we thought we were doing with the GIM.
We all do. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I figured GIM, we'll get 6 months out of it, then everyone will quit, and
we're
I'll just
approaching a year.
And we're all loving it, and we've cracked the 400. We're under sub 400 now.
Yeah.
Sub 400?
Competitive ranking.
Oh, nice.
And that'll increase.
And everyone has a quest cape.
Together.
Shoot.
I have 201 quest points.
I got my quest cape.
Pern, I love you.
that was my first goal, was the quest cape.
Anyways, what if anything did you enjoy about the DXP? The options are, I like the challenge of planning without MTX. I like using non-MTX alternatives like gathered materials or GE buying. It felt fairer for all players. I appreciated the experiment and its intent. It felt more balanced without MTX items. It felt more rewarding to gain XP without MTX items, and it encouraged me to engage more with the core game. I can definitely tell you that last one is definitely one that would be checked there for me in that regard, as well as just being more rewarding and actually using materials rather than all the treasure hunter things. And then they got the flip side of this question as well. What did you not enjoy?
Having to buy things.
Yeah, that is an option.
GE. Yeah.
Slower XP gains, less rewarding progression, lack of social activity or community engagement.
Because you're not gathering around those areas that you use all the stuff.
Yeah. Again, I want to know what people chose on these and which way it goes. I think it's going to surprise everybody when those answers come out.
Yeah, who enjoys social engagement anyway?
Oh, absolutely.
I think the thing I'm most curious about...
I just hate people. So
I think the thing I'm most curious about, I don't think we'll see it with the short-term length of this experiment, is what the economic impact was. I think they'll be able to see it a little better from the back end as to people were trading ingredients for potions or whatever more. But obviously it would take a long time for us to be able to see some of those effects. And
I mean, if I remember correctly, there were double XPs that didn't even register on the radar back when they had that as a thing.
Right. It used to be huge. It was Armageddon.
Oh yeah, man, that was
logs and bones and herbs.
Super
that's where I used to make all my money, was just gathering all the stuff, and then 2 weeks before, as soon as they announced it, you chuck it on at 20% over GE price, and just sit back there, and it'd sell over the week.
And I had the buddy that had the briefcase, man, and he just made the rounds just all day. All day.
Briefcase of potions, right?
Yeah. I'm telling you, between that and the Desert Casino, he bought Premier for all of us.
Good to have a sugar daddy.
Uh-huh.
Fun fact. Sirion, who we did the old school show with, there was once a meetup in the Netherlands that he held with a bunch of Clan Quest people from around Europe, and the official name for that meetup was Sirion's Sugar Babies.
I mean, he was hosting. He got to exude that power.
Yeah. Well, he didn't choose the name. They chose the name because of, I guess, what happened there. So.
Oh boy.
Oh yeah. Okay, that might be an after dark show.
Well, that's I guess what you get with the Dutch meetup.
And just to think, if we get rid of MTX items, we can have that all year round.
You just got to find the right one. Anyways, did the DXP experiment highlight any areas of the game that you'd like to see improved? The options were training methods felt tedious, item availability was a problem, gathering and preparation took too long, XP progression felt too slow, and I couldn't find players to train with.
What? That I don't.
The last one, I don't know. This is an antisocial game.
Yeah, and if you want to be social, you talk
go
to your
play an
clan.
MMO. Yeah,
Just go to World 87
Yeah,
if you
talk
want.
to your clan.
That's it.
yeah.
You know, I have to be honest, I think a lot of the mid-tier and getting into the higher tier skilling stuff that's not 110 definitely ticks the training methods felt tedious.
Yeah.
Specifically in, skills like fletching, crafting, thieving outside of safes and whatnot, just as examples.
Yeah.
Well, I don't get it feels slow. I mean, really, all you weren't losing that much. Like,
You lose AFK
as a
ability.
But I mean, with the exception of like Cinder Cores, what were you really out?
All the proteins.
If you were training normally,
Yeah, because Proteans usually aren't that fast.
Oh.
No,
Compared
but
to World
They're
War.
AFK. Yeah.
Yeah. Or play a different
Proteans
game.
are great because they're just AFK.
Right, but that doesn't mean progression took too long, then.
Yeah,
Or
that's what
it
I'm
was
saying.
too
Like
slow.
the XP would the rate
It's more
isn't
the tedious
that
stuff.
different.
Yeah.
So I thought that was an interesting question. That's why I put that one there. Are there any items you would most want to return? I said
None.
portables
What?
Yeah,
for the
that's a good
secondary
one.
side effects,
Why? For which side effects are you thinking?
like
of?
the
most
Herblar
of
one or
resource
the
saving
fletching ones. Yeah,
or
Yeah.
extra production.
yeah,
I think those effects can come into the game in other ways.
yeah.
He would have said dummy, but he already has his
Like
slave
I'd
level.
prefer if we had like some gloves that did like skilling outfit bits or
Skilling offense.
fort buildings or whatever.
Yeah, that's all. I would rather see portables as an achievement you have to sort of build up to and make your own one. In your level 3 sort of fletching area in forts, or in the
Oh,
Max
that'd be
Guild
cool.
there's
Yeah.
something, or at the crafting guild that you've got the crafting one there. I mean, make guilds. You have something where you work towards, and it's in there.
I want to talk to somebody who said that they want dummy processors and protein processors to return.
You can have that, but no dummies. How about that? No proteans.
Yeah, you got to go and fletch your own dummies, and you're getting 3 XP per dummy
Yeah.
you make. And...
Also, what are these other ones at the bottom of this list? Love letters, skilling backpacks.
Love
The
letters
coin of
was from
enchantment?
Valentine's Day. They're just things. They give you an extra 1, 2, or 3% XP. So someone can slam you or flip your coin, and you get an extra 1% for everyone around.
Well, lucky
For an
us, we just
hour.
got that from Eclipse of the Heart. Done. The Atmakin buff.
Yeah. But the only other one would be Cindercore. But even then, we always talk. I always talk about how I think XP is an issue in the game. And if there's anybody out there in the audience who believes that things like protein processors, dummy processors should come back, let me know. I'd be interested in having a conversation with you just to see how you felt in this DXP and what you feel about monetization in general to see where RS should be. Because I feel like, the community has come around mostly that it shouldn't be a thing, but it'd be interesting to talk to somebody who still feels in this day and age that it should be a thing, specifically those ones I mentioned. And then what other MTX items would you like, or why would you like those sort of MTX items to be available? The options were, I feel like I'm getting good value for my money. They also help me avoid repetitive or boring training methods. Again, I think then that means that's a problem with the skill. They let me focus on other content. You enjoy the strategic preparation and stockpiling of those events. Okay. There's another option here. I rely on them to stay competitive with other players. And
those are all legitimate things.
They reduce the need to gather or buy materials. They save time and let me train more effectively. And I think this is the big one for Proteans. They let me train passively or AFK.
Yep.
I agree with all of them.
But again, I mean, just imagine if in Invention you could load up a bunch of Eternal or Elder logs and make your own Proteans. You prepare. So you've got your machine. 20 logs spits out a Protean. You just throw it in there, so it's all done that way. And then on double XP weekend, you can just use them all passively and do it that way. These aren't things that need to be brought in through MTX. They can be part of gameplay.
Yeah, that's fair.
Jagex doesn't make any money out of it.
Yeah, and I think it all comes back to that discussion about how much is too much, right? And how much XP coming into the game is too much. That's a complicated subject, and I think it rubs a lot of people the wrong way. So,
yeah, I do like what Perma's saying though. Like, the issue, right, or one of the issues is that a lot of these things are coming in at the cost of no other resource. It's for free, and then like all of the logs are getting thrown to the wayside, or all other metals. So if it costs logs to make, then maybe that's appropriate.
Maybe. Oh my god, I just thought of something. Oh god, this sucks. Have we been giving combat a hard time when the problem's been the goddamn treasure hunter protein items this whole time?
Oh, 100,000%. It's both.
It's both, yeah. I was going to say.
Wow, I never even.
Oh no, yeah, it is both.
Proteins and all that.
I mean, I've got some friends who, I mean, they do not train any skilling until the weekend. Until the DXP weekends. They'll gather up all their Proteans, and they'll have some extra things, at the end of it. But it's all Proteans, all DXP.
And
I guess we're going to have to get rid of them.
You get them
Make skilling great again.
Yeah.
Right. Well, especially when they release
but it can't be at 99 plus. It has to be in that 50 to 80 range.
That you can.
I don't know if that's controversial.
I mean,
I would say 80 plus. Yeah. Because don't forget, 92 was halfway to 99. So, anything, I'd say around 80-ish. You just do normal stuff up to 80, and then, because it's so quick to get to 80 these days.
Yeah, and that's why I think, the biggest thing that's going to come from this question is that they reduce the need to gather and buy materials, and then that feeds right back into what we said about all the market problems that we feel exist, rightly or wrongly.
That's it.
And then just some quick questions they had about, how do you feel about things like, or the presence of Proteans, dummies, and stars being used in double XP? And, when you look at it from that perspective, the XP, they're harmful to the game. And then how do you feel about the presence of MTX items in general in RuneScape? You can have that question. And then here's the big one, the big kahuna. How would you like to be able to acquire MTX items in the future, if at all? And there is an option for direct purchase from
Oh,
marketplace bundles, and then skill and gameplay, i.e. invention. And that's why I wanted you guys all to do this survey and see that question and tick that box, because I ticked that box.
I ticked not at all, but, you know.
Okay.
As I said, those MTX items can easily come in through gameplay. I'm happy with direct buy bundles. Buy your own cinder cores. I want 20 cinder cores, buy them. I want 50 stars, just buy them. I hate lamps, but I don't mind people using stars and cinder cores because you're still interacting with actual gameplay.
So here's the big question then. When it comes to the response from all these MTX experiments, do you wait until after leaks to share your findings in case they upset the community?
Yes.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yes.
I don't think we're ever.
100%.
We won't even know, probably.
They said they're going to be transparent.
I was going to say, they'll bring out what they'll let us know. Not all of it, of course, but they'll let us know some of it. But definitely, you wait till after leaks.
Yeah.
Yeah. They have the direct purchasable cosmetics thing happening in September, right?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one.
So they can wait until after that. They can use that to postpone.
Yeah.
Then I put money aside to buy some cosmetics. Not that I want them
for your birthday,
just to show support.
Is it your birthday in September?
No, mine's in June.
Oh, okay.
No, I've got both my kids are September. My nan's September. My one of my sisters is in September. Christmas was a busy time for things.
The next set of questions is how often do you partake in DXP events? You can, say each and every one or one a year or less. But one of the questions that raised my eyebrow was how many DXP events do you feel there should be run in a year?
1.
The answer
I
is
said 1 as well.
0 all the way up to 7.
Fucking 7?
I said 2.
1.
What, every weekend?
Okay, 2 I could go with, but
Sure.
I think 4 is way too many. I think DXP used to be that special I used to love DXP when it was just over a weekend. And we used to have. I mean, when I first started, it was like two a year, and that was it. And bang, and you'd say, okay, it's coming up, and you start planning for it a couple of months out, gathering all your stuff, and it was just that special. Okay, family, this is my weekend. I'm having it to myself. I'm sitting down and just playing straight, and it just, it was unhealthy, but it was 2 days. And it was just
like in the spring
fun.
and the fall, right?
Exactly.
That's why I said 2.
Fun.
Yeah.
And there was so many people, and you'd have all your mates around, and we used to chat on headphones with each other, and that was back when it was Skype and not Discord, but still, it was just like it was fun back then.
Yeah.
Now, 10 days. I understand why they do it, but it just doesn't. And 4 times a year just doesn't feel special. So
7 would be like more than once every other month.
Okay.
Yes.
That's every 6 weeks.
You'd be getting more DXP than you would new content at that point.
Yeah. It'd be every 6 months, but every 6 weeks.
I don't know why. And I don't know who would choose that, but it's there.
Well, they sometimes they pull how many quests do you want, and they put 30 on there.
Yeah, I guess it's just to, kind of get like a decent all-around average,
want 30,
right?
I want 30 quests in a year.
No.
It's never the right option. It's 29, right? It's 29.
The sweet spot for quests for me is 4 to 5.
See, for me it's 6 to 8, but I'd like it every 2 months.
What do you think, Avernick? I don't think we've ever got you on that one.
I think that the number can be higher if you're fine with some of them being like duck quests.
Right. Yeah, little fun quests. Yeah, I'm not talking epic quests. I'm talking the little fun ones that they do, little bottle quests and things like that. You have your big 2 or 3 epics a year, but you have just have a couple of little fun bottle quests.
But you could have had 1 more epic instead of 3 more bottle quests. So then,
yeah, but you don't always need epics.
Sure. Yeah,
4 is the right
number, I think. But
for me, the whole idea behind the quest is that it is that they're. I mean, my favorite quests aren't the epic ones. It's a lot of just the little fun bottle quest ones. But that's just me. So
yeah, and then the next one. How much do you agree or disagree with the following statements about changes from this experiment? Again, making the game feel too grindy or making it feel more balanced. Do you trust Jagex when making updates to the game? Do you trust the developers when making updates to the game?
What is the deal with that? Those two different questions, the Jagex versus developers. Do they want us to think the developers as like these helpless at the whims of the greedy?
Well, they pretty much are. I mean, you know,
like Jagex being the corporate entity, right? In terms with the big corporate strategy. I feel
like it'd be better for their image if they didn't
versus the developers. You know, everybody imagining like a Mod Shrike or a Mod Ramen or Mod Breezy,
front facing,
right?
Yeah.
So
versus the greedy money guy in the back,
exactly.
Yeah. And again, and that's true. I mean, you know, they are a company. They need to be. You know, they need
profitable.
To have that. Yeah, they need to have that guy there who is concentrating on the profits. But, you know, you don't always trust them to do what's best for you. But they're looking at what's best for the longevity of the game to keep bringing that money in. Devs are looking at what's best, you know, what they're going to love to produce and what they're going to do for players. So, yeah, I'm going to trust a dev a lot more than I am going to trust Jagex for myself. But for the longevity of the game itself, sadly, I mean, you know, I do come from a business background, so I understand that necessary evil of, you know, you've got to have those guys there making those decisions that are going to bring the money in and make the game profitable. And, you know, as much as people hate seeing things make profit and such, it's, you know,
you gotta have the lobes.
How the
exactly.
world works.
You gotta have the lobes. All right, and then the last one, whether or not you like the direction RuneScape's going in. So, get a bit of everything for that.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, it sounds like it's a more well-rounded survey than I was expecting, so I will do it after the show.
Yeah, I think it ends on Friday, so after we finish recording here. I mean, we're talking about it, so I don't know if it's up for anybody who is listening now, but definitely if you are here on the panel and haven't done it and you want to, go for it. But we're going to move on to patch notes right now. We do have a few of them this week. They added in a Masket preset to the bank. Modest crocodiles won't reflect passive damage anymore and can't get damaged by passive effects. So I'm guessing this is things like the fractured staff and the jazz skill book going off on them by accident.
Probably good quality of life to not have to switch off of it.
Yeah. And when teleporting in Phase 7 during a mascot, the player will no longer try and path towards the southwest corner of the throne room if they had a walk queue pending. And parsing this out, what this means is that the game can inadvertently, I guess, change the way your character is moving, despite you telling the client to move your character in a different spot.
I was thinking maybe it's like if you were moving somewhere in the main arena, like it's still trying to get you to that spot, and it happens to be southwest of the Phase 7 arena.
Okay. Yeah, oh, right, when teleporting in Phase 7. So moving to Phase 7.
I didn't realize it was happening until the patch note said it was happening. Like, I always was like walking southwest for some reason as I was trying to cover southeast or northeast or whatever.
Right, and that could be kind of dangerous.
Ooh. Right, you have to waste them. Hopefully you had a Sergi over there and we're paying attention.
Tuska-wise fixed an issue that allowed shooting stars to spawn on the now removed Tuska site.
Hey, I mean, I'm sorry, comets will sometimes fall into the ocean. It's just the way of life, and you know.
Oh, you want to do a shooting star this hour? It's gone.
Yeah, it landed in the ocean. Tough titties. Wait till the next one.
that poor Iron account that was stuck on Tuska's back.
Yeah.
Won't get his stars anymore.
I would not want to play that account.
Did you guys see that? That was crazy.
Oh, that's a legitimate thing? There was a Tuska's Back account?
There is an account that that logged in after the event ended, and for some reason was still on the back. And
I thought you meant this was like a character that chose to just remain locked to Anima Islands for their entire existence.
No, there is a character who has been stuck there since World Event 3. They posted something on Reddit like they're still chopping the spines off the back. I'm like, yeah, that wasn't in the current build.
Oh my god! Right, because I guess World Event 3 was a different instance than the Anima Islands.
It was in space, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Also increased the spawn rate of Beastmaster's hounds,
Jesus,
as they
for
previously
people on that
took
one.
around a minute to respawn. Now they're around 10 seconds.
They were a pain in the
Great.
ass.
Fixed an issue that prevented moonstones from dropping when looting ghostly implings. Now here's going to be a big one, and maybe a big one for us in leagues. Scriptures in Erethdor's Grimoire can now be shredded to give 10 pages. This destroys the item in the process.
It's a really interesting change.
Yeah.
Good for Iron Man, right?
Yeah, good for Iron Man, because, on main, you're just going to sell the book, right?
Right.
So, I mean, if you are a solo Iron Man and you get the Erethdor's Grimoire drop, there is a off chance that you'll just want to shred that for the 10 pages if you already have one.
Or if you're doing a Sanctum and you get an Amaskets book and where the pages aren't very prevalent.
Yeah, that too.
Better drop now.
That's kind of what I was thinking in that regard as
Yeah.
well. Updated the Greater Barge drop rate in solo Elite Dungeon 2 encounters to be consistent with Greater Fury and Greater Flurry, which are moving it from 1 in 100 down to 1 in 83.
Nice.
All variants of Masterwork armor are now whitelisted in the Group Iron Man storage.
Good job, guys.
And added a number of new voice lines for Nakatra within the Sanctum to allow for knowing of which attack is coming and when, and also added voice lines for Nakatra at each phase, transition, and boss death to add flavor and audio cues. Nice.
Yeah.
Was this the boss that they had this done, and it just was a matter of not putting it in from last summer, or am I thinking of a different
I
boss?
don't think they said they had it done. I think they hadn't done it because the boss was lower budget.
Okay. Which makes sense with it being a boss dungeon.
Yeah.
So. Alrighty, folks. There's your patch notes for the week. At this point, I'd feel remiss if I didn't mention that the bees are in game. I don't really have anything to say about this. If you want, I guess the cosmetics, go and get the nectar and turn in.
Yeah, it's a
Turn that
passive.
in.
It's just one of those passive
Yeah,
things. So you're going to get the nectar
It's
while
the
you're
same
training.
thing as the Time Mage event we had
Yep.
earlier
Yep.
this year.
Yeah.
Where you
I
can,
like that this one has bespoke tasks. That's neat.
yeah, it's kind of like spotting a penguin, except
Yeah.
you're spotting a bee.
Also things like go deliver mead to all the bars in Asgarnia or collect ingredients to make a special mead.
And with that, it also makes it feel as though it's more part of the game rather than just
Right.
a 2-week long MTX cosmetic promotion.
I didn't actually see that part of it, so that's good.
You have to turn a number of nectar in order to get to the tasks.
Oh, okay, yes. I'm just gathering my 20,000. I'm going to hand it all in at once. So
If you did it early, you could see them on the way.
fair enough.
And you can purchase it outright with bonds if you want to spend the real money on it. Rune coins is an option as well, aside from the nectar. So if you like the way it looks, go forth and grab it. So
Go forth and pollinate.
yeah. Though it is kind of weird having the bees come out at the end of the summer when they normally come out in spring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you've ruined it by pointing that out.
Okay. It's
It was
okay.
fun until then.
We did.
well,
We don't
Hey,
need
it's-
that level of immersion.
we're entering spring in Australia, so they've actually finally made an update for us down here.
Ah, yeah. Saved. Pern saved it. Shane ruined it. Pern saved it.
All right. Let's move on. What have we been doing in RS? Anybody jumping at the bit to go first?
I've been doing Slayer tasks, apparently, because term
Really?
requirement.
Which term requirement's that?
The Eclipse reward is now required.
Oh,
The Slayer
okay.
room, which is 3,000 points.
Okay.
Unlock the other, yeah.
Yeah, it's not nothing, and I had 0 because I thought, oh, I'm done with all the Slayer requirements. I can spend them willy-nilly to get Profane
What,
Scabrate tasks. And I blew them.
What master are you using for that?
Lania Kea. I mean, I get to pick my task often enough that just keep it like Calgarians or whatever. It's something that's easy and low numbers.
She's great. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that is the way to go. I think it's either Laniakea or the Raptor until.
Yeah, Mandrith is a little too crazy with the tasks.
Oh yeah. Or does anybody use Morphin still?
I don't see why you would, because Laniakea is literally Morvran's stuff, but better. Like,
and the clusters.
Like she oddly weights like elves and Lost Grove things high because that's what Morvran weighted them. She doesn't really have an own person. Like, she doesn't weight. I think she weights dinosaurs higher because she can't with the Anacrown, but she doesn't like weight Easternland stuff or Dragonkin stuff higher because she's that person. She weights all the elf stuff higher.
Okay.
So,
are you having fun?
Sometimes. I took Rune Dragons thinking, I can maybe just be collection log there, and I forgot about the requirement for range, like to use the arrow.
Yes.
Like, no, I can't just magic or necro this. So I regret that, and I'm not going to cancel the task because that's going against the point of getting points.
Yeah, fair enough.
So now I just got to do it.
Well, I guess you got to have some kind of unpalatable thing before Leagues comes, eh?
Take my medicine.
Yeah. As for me this week, I got the Kiln Cape.
Ooh, very nice.
Congratulations.
I did 1.5 runs. I messed up the first one because I did not turn my prayer off on that idiotic wave that has all the dills on it. So they just started, and I just decided to I'll just aggro them all. And I kept getting hit with typeless damage, and I realized on the second run that taking them one at a time was probably the better way to go.
Exactly what happened to me when I did it the first time. I thought, shit. So yeah.
Yeah, and I forgot
feel your pain on that one. Yeah.
I forgot.
What's your combat style on the group I'm in?
Necro.
Okay. So when's Zuck?
After tier 90 power armor.
Okay.
Which is, if everything goes well, this weekend.
Nice.
Need more Harmonic plates than just the ED run.
Yeah, got your what's it called in there though?
My what?
Yeah, greater in soul cloth.
Yes, thank you for that. Thank you for sourcing
that's
that.
Okay. Yeah,
for the group.
And that's it. And for me, it was basically a couple of runs at Zill again to get those. Krill. But I actually logged in on my main account again this week and started doing some of the stuff that I hadn't done. I got the new hatchet for the Glade.
Nice.
Glade, yeah, got that all done. At the moment, fletching my eternal weapon so I can make the. There's a thing called Fletch Quest, which you have to do before you can make the new bow.
Asterisk bow, yeah.
Yeah, so in the middle of doing that, I got the pieces for the Masterwork bow, so I'll get that done. On the on the Iron Man, got both 99 hatchet and 99 pickaxe, or 90 pickaxe, I think it is. The ones that we can.
Did I mention 86 archaeology last week on the show?
Oh yeah, that's right. Because you had to get the.
Yeah, I don't know if I mentioned 86 archaeology, but I got that.
That's right.
And
you got the quest done.
Yeah, and I've been pushing for prayer as well, and I think I'm level 84 there doing the cleansing stones.
Yes.
So if I can just spend the next 2 weeks kind of low key AFKing that prayer there, and get the Necro 90 armor done, that'll be enough on the GIM for before Leagues, because I don't want to go too hard before Leagues comes.
No, that's exactly. I mean, I'm just doing a lot of the laid back stuff. I logged onto the main account because of the Nectar event. I'm never going to use it, but I'm just one who likes to do all the unlocks when they have these little events. So, been doing more clues. Almost got enough fortunates for the next ring. I think I've got 2 more rings to make, so that we'll all have a ring to go with our grace, and that's basically been me.
Right on. How about you, Tannis?
Continuing the Prif Iron Man grind. Knocked a few more 75s down. Down to agility and herblore, and then of course dungeoneering with the group. But
Everyone's favorites.
yeah, so that's been going good. I kind of had the realization that while I still think Treasure Hunter, whatever, it's fine. I don't think I won't probably be participating much with it because the stuff I'm excited about, I don't include it. And that's fine.
You don't need it anymore.
Yeah,
It's fun to realize.
It's just not. I'm enjoying Group Iron Man, and I'll be playing leagues, so it's just not a factor. It's just not a thing.
I feel like nowadays I largely just hit the X button on the daily keys. I don't know.
Yeah, and see, that's the thing. I mean, if we have a bunch of us who are all, rather ambivalent, it's like, why have Treasure Hunter, right? Because I don't think any of us here are, ultra radicals when it comes to MTX.
Yeah,
No.
So if we're, just closing it out at this point,
Don't even take the free stuff.
right? What does that mean for the rank and file RuneScape players?
If I'm logged in, I'll always do it, but I just convert it all to oddments. I think I'm up to almost 1 million oddments now.
Right, and that's even with the bastardized oddment conversion rates they have now.
Yeah, they screwed me on that.
I don't know. I mean, like, we could just say goodbye and come to the one-time cosmetic purchase thing that we're having in September and do that as a way of going and, say that is the way to go in the future. And, maybe at some point it just completely disappears. I don't know how they'd, monetize the game, because you would need to effectively double or triple the amount of subscriptions that RS3 has and you see through the active player base to really just get something that's reasonable going on there. So, but all right. So that's
actually another thing. I just hit 100 mining. So
congratulations
on the group Iron Man. So I can make us all a primal pickaxe and primal hatchet now.
Even though we can't use it yet.
No, but you can put them on your tool belts.
Yeah.
And it just levels to the one you're at. So
yeah, and see, that's just such a nice, wonderful quality of life thing to have.
Yeah, I wish they would do that with the archaeology tool.
The Matic.
The Matic, yeah, you can't put that on, unfortunately, but the others you can.
Yeah, I wonder why that is. Did they ever say?
No.
All right. We do have some achievements, and just a reminder, of course, for anybody who was not with us last week, we do have a new achievements channel in the Discord over at update.show/Discord, where if you're not, if you don't want to live like it's 2004 and join a forum or join Clan Quest, you can have your achievements read out on the show. Just join update.show/Discord and post them in the achievements channel before reset time on Friday most weeks, and we'll get them in. So we have Chimney Lax with 99 Fishing on the 26th, Malinoric with 120 Prayer and Crafting on the 25th, Mej Quest with 120 Woodcutting on the 24th, Mindy Gaz with 99 Rune Crafting, also on the 24th, Igno Tukas with 99 Mining on the 23rd, Ormean with 99 Slayer, and Arcane with 120 Agility and 120 Crafting on the 22nd and 21st of August. And we also have Malinoric with the Fletching Pet at 54 million XP on August 21st. That's not a bad XP marker. Could be worse, way worse.
The flow, yep.
So, congratulations, everyone.
Well done, all.
All right.
I noticed it's not as many this
on this DXP, right?
Yeah, as we have on previous ones.
So is that just like the time of the year, or is that the experiment going on?
I think it's the experiment going on where people, just the XP isn't piling in as quick with all those extra things they've always had. Yeah, extra stars and lamps and all that stuff.
Tanis, I believe you have pick of the week for us.
I've got a really old pick of the week for us. So if it was 1984, 87, or 92.
Okay. 80 plus.
What do you got?
So I watched an old movie for the first time, and I just have to share it and make it the pick of the week. But the Hellraiser series, with the classic, character of Pinhead, I had always seen, that you've seen images and things like that at the video stores, right, on the cover or whatever when you're in the horror section.
Oh yeah.
But
from
it was
1987,
so
Clive Barker, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Snuck in underage to see this one.
It was so much fun. What a wild, fun little ride. And this all started because I listened to a podcast that had I think his name's Doug Bradley, the actor, and the more he was talking about it, the more I was like, that really sounds neat. And the first couple movies, you're you'll be surprised because there's not as much of them in that as what you remember, what you think there's going to be. There's a lot of other stuff going on, and then I got to the third movie last night, and it was just 90s horror, over the top fun. It was so fun. But classic, Clive Barker, it's he is awesome, and that's my pick of the week. Probably 30 years too late, but awesome movie, and I watched it for free on Tubi.
I mean, if we were doing this podcast in '87, I wouldn't be here yet, or I would be, depending on the time. Yeah,
I would be, but that's beside the point.
It's funny because I was a big horror buff still am, but I was 17 when this came out, and in Australia it was 18 plus, so they never really bothered us back then. So I was going to rated R movies since I was 13, 14 years old, but this was one of those great ones. So when you were talking about it, I haven't seen that in decades, so definitely one I'm going to go back and watch again because I love those. And it sounds like it holds up, because I went back and watched a few other ones, like the original Chucky and all that, which is still good, but just doesn't hold up over time. So if you're still enjoying it, it sounds like it has. Yeah,
well, I mean, those 90s kind of, like I said, over the top kind of horror, where they mixed in a lot of the cheeky humor. I mean, there was a time and a place for it, right? Freddy's classic, but this is this is different. It's more lore, it's more story, and it's kind of between the lines. To where once you really get into it and you become a fan, you understand it more. But from the movies, the closest thing I can relate it to, it's the horror version of Star Wars. Right, how it starts off with these 3 bare-bone movies, but there's so much more. There's this whole universe,
All right, definitely not my kind of movie. How about you, Avernick?
Yeah, not so much.
Yeah,
but it's an audience for everything.
Yeah, of course, and the one thing I will say is that, especially when it comes to movies, they don't make them like they used to.
No, this is not CGI, and it's awesome because of it. The real makeup and the monster stuff from that time was was
Even
pretty special.
Some of the scenes and language that are in them just wouldn't be accepted today. They just wouldn't get past today.
Oh my god, Pern. That's. There's a scene I remember, like my boss. He's a huge horror buff and stuff, and I was texting him. I was like, I don't think the Me Too people would like this very much. He's like, yeah, well, there's that part in there as well.
Yeah, there's quite a few movies from the 80s and 90s that just, if they tried to get them done today, they would just get shut down.
Yeah, old Julia there is that's not a modern woman. Let's put it that way.
Alrighty, folks, sounds good. Hopefully everybody enjoyed this initial salvo into the league's coverage. We'll be back with by this point next week 7 days worth of reveals on this. Woo. I'm hoping we have most of the relics by then.
Yeah.
I hope that the future tiers are less cut and dry.
Oh, they will be. They will be. And wait until everybody here is all wrong when it comes to this at the end.
Oh, yes.
So, but of course, if you want to hear that when it automatically arrives, update.show/subscribe. We're on all the major podcast listening services out there, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Spotify, and more. Just visit update.show/subscribe. Click on your favorite one. We're also on YouTube, of course, at youtube.com/RSBANDB. Give us a like and subscribe there. Greatly helps the podcast out. But of course, good, and thank you for everybody being here this week. Tanis, always good.
Thanks, Shane. Yep, good to be here.
Pern with everyone's second favorite Australian.
Thank you once again for letting me assault your ears.
And Avernick as well.
Thank you. Sounds like not too shortly we'll be recording a monthly bit, so...
Yeah, based on the Third Age, too, so Patreon for that, if that sounds interesting. But with that being said, we'll see you guys next week for another episode of RSBNB Update. See you then, everyone. Take care.
Happy Skype and all.
Bye.